Good morning, Hail Stalkers. This is Derek Klein coming to you from the Hail Palace on June 11th. And we had a pretty big storm yesterday. Most of you probably have already heard a little bit about it in the Chicago metro area. We're rating that as a 4-star map. And so let's go ahead and take a look at that. We also got potentially another active afternoon again. So take a look at June 10th, the hail recap. And this is a pretty cool little graphic here. Let me step out of the way here. This is actually the maximum expected hail size produced by the radar. This is actually a loop of yesterday afternoon's activity as it moved into the Chicago metro area. So we had a couple of different waves of storms yesterday in Chicago. We had one wave move through in the morning. You see that right there. Didn't really produce anything, maybe some pea size, but watch this one just explode on the cold front. Boom, there it goes. Large hail produced all up and down with individual supercell thunderstorms that fired all across parts of northern and central Illinois. We even had a few big storms back here in western Iowa, eastern Iowa, southern Iowa, and had a couple big storms back over in Michigan as well. Not shown in this zoomed in version of this loop, but again, it was a fairly active afternoon. Again, 4-star hail map for the Chicago area, so this is all Chicago metro area down into central Illinois. Hail sizes up to softball size, maybe a little bit smaller than that, but some very, very large hail. Not all these 46,000 homes were impacted with softballs. That's quarter size or larger, but we did have a decent number of homes impacted with very large hail up to softball size yesterday afternoon across parts of Chicago. So the other 2-star map that we were able to produce as well, in addition to Chicago, we've got Monroe to Ida, Michigan, and that was isolated areas of 2-inch hail, quarter size hail or larger, 8,300 homes. So a pretty good little storm for southern areas of Michigan, not far from Detroit. So that was a look at yesterday's activity across the United States. That's Wednesday, June 10th. Let's take a look at Thursday because, again, today we're going to have another active afternoon. So let's take a look at what it looks like across the U.S. Again, Thursday, June 11th. We've got a fairly large swath. We've still got that same cold front in many areas really stalled out really in about the same location. So in Chicago, it's still there just to your north or right over Chicago today. Same thing with Detroit. It's going to be right over your area. It's going to drape back. It's going to be somewhere around Omaha. It may actually be to the south of Omaha. And if it does that, Omaha, your hail chance will go to 0. If it stays to your north, storms will fire right on top of you, and you'll have a pretty good opportunity for some large hail. Kansas City. You want that front to actually sag a little bit further to the south. You want it to get through Omaha and stall out somewhere right here in the southeast corner of Nebraska. Will allow those storms to fire just to the south and move into Kansas City during peak heating. So that will be the opportunity there. We'll have less severe activity down along the front across western Kansas into the Oklahoma-Texas panhandles. And there could even be a few storms that could develop. Looks like there's going to be a lot of rain today in Denver, but to the south of Denver, maybe even in Denver, more than likely to the south, we could have a few hailers across parts of Denver. Let's take a look at the larger hail here. So again, I think somebody's going to have some hail up to tennis balls, maybe even baseballs across this area here. Most likely area is really going to be from about right here, so just south of Des Moines, and then back to about Topeka, Kansas. So somewhere right in here is probably the most likely area. Chicago, though, I can't rule you out for sure. Some questions on what all this morning activity that's going on right now in Iowa, what that's going to do to the atmosphere. So those are the questions. We'll be watching those. If we see any big changes or anything like that, we'll shoot out an update on Facebook. As our subscribers, we'll also shoot out a text alert to our subscribers to let you know about it. So we'll be on top of this. We'll be watching the latest and letting you know exactly what we've got going on. So taking a look at your individual forecast. So we're going to start things off down at the end of the cold front. We're going to go Wichita, Kansas, 1.5-inch hail, 5 to 10 p.m. The chance is fairly low in Wichita, only about 10%, and maybe some 65-mile-per-hour winds with those storms as they move through. Again, Kansas City, we've got the question of where's the cold front going to be this afternoon. If it gets into your area, again, 2-inch hail will be possible, and about a 10% chance right now. I think that front might be just a tad bit to your north, but 4 to 11 p.m., this could change, though. We could have to up this 10% closer to 20 or 25% if that front sags to the south. We'll have some 65-mile-per-hour winds with the stronger storms as well. Again, Omaha, the front will be there a little bit earlier if it does not pass through, 2-inch hail, 3 to 8 p.m. Right now we'll do about a 20% chance for Omaha. Again, if that front comes through, that drops to 0, and we'll do 65-mile-per-hour winds possible with those storms. Continuing down the line, Des Moines, Iowa, most of the activity should be to your south, but some of the stronger storms up to golf ball size hail, 15% chance of hail and 65-mile-per-hour winds. And Chicago, 7 to 11 p.m., golf ball size hail right now. If we can get some sunshine out ahead of this main complex, again, that front could fire some larger hail than that. And we'll do about a 20% chance for Chicago, so a little higher chance. 65-mile-per-hour winds possible with those storms. And last but not least, we're going to go to Detroit, noon to 8 p.m. So storms firing a little bit earlier in Detroit. There could be, this is probably 2-inch, probably a little bit too high for Detroit, but there could be some inch and a half hail in Detroit later this afternoon. And we'll do about a 15% chance for hail and some 65-mile-per-hour winds possible with those storms as well. So again, another active day today and a lot of activity that we had yesterday. So hopefully you're out there working, finding the storms that you need. If you've got any questions, if we can help you out with anything with these storms over recently or that's coming up today, please let us know. Our number is 855-334-4245, or you can reach us at info@hailtrace.com. We hope you have a great day.